got to ask you if you remember this car. This is a DeLorean DMC-12. The DMC-12 was named that because it was supposed to cost $12,000, which is the equivalent of $50,000 in today's money. If you see one of these in real life, consider yourself lucky. There are only 6,000 of these cars driving the U.S. streets. Now, why is that? They're so cool looking. I mean, who wouldn't have thought about like the stainless steel thing? It doesn't rust. How cool. The wings, the car comes up with these wing doors. How intelligent. Well, let's talk about that, because the reason that's not on the roads anymore has everything to do with the reason you might not be winning at your fullest capacity. The founder, the inventor of this DeLorean was John Z DeLorean. And he grew up in Detroit. John Z DeLorean worked his way through Chrysler, through a couple of other car companies, and eventually became the youngest person to run all of North America for General Motors. He was known to be a rebel. He hated the meetings. He had out-of-the-box thinking. Now, his out-of-the-box thinking is what actually shaped the GTO, right? There's songs written about the muscle car, the GTO. And we're not really quite sure what happened. He may have quit. He may have walked out with a box of his belongings from General Motors, but he left. And when he left, he vowed to spit in the face of the automotive industry, to create something that did not exist. It was going to be responsible environmentally and to the people. It was going to use the right kind of mechanisms, and we're not going to use these materials that are pollutants. And what he did was ignored conventional wisdom. He ignored all of the things that had happened before that had created successful car factories in the past, and he decided he would do things his own way. He promised that his car would go 0 to 60 in just a couple of seconds. I don't really know the actual. It was supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be fast. It's supposed to burn clean fuel. It was supposed to get more miles per gallon than anything out there on the road. And it was supposed to look cool. Of course, that was his main MO. And I would ask you and ask me that as we go through things, like, we have to commit to not just looking cool and being different, because it's not like that gets attention, and that's great. That's marketing. We need that in our world. But it's not who you are. It's who you are consistently that matters. It's what you can do at a high level consistently that matters. Quality matters. And that's what the DMC-12 did not have. The first drive that anyone would have in the DMC-12, well, parts would rattle, the windows would get stuck, the doors would get jammed, and it wouldn't ever hit its top speed. Johnny Carson, who had invested in the DMC in DeLorean, he ended up getting one of the first cars off the lot. And when he drove it off the lot, just a few miles off the lot, it broke down. And the car that picked him up from the DeLorean car lot also broke down. And that was the problem, my friend, of a company not in practice. All show and no go, as some might say.